I read for I have noticed that for junior people in general, there is a big difference in how to lead them. The two main bottlenecks I have encountered is and this is to be a pattern, not specific to some kind of people, but they're really scared of making mistakes. They need like constant like reassurance and validation. And I haven't found a better way when you were saying like you build a checklist, you still have to sit with them to show them how to do anything. And it's long. So is there like a better way, an asynchronous way to do it? And the last one is, uh, what about like when it's not an established process, when it's something new? Let's say we always do like Facebook ads, and now we are trying to do LinkedIn ads, but it's new for the junior person, it's new for me too. So it's not like I can show the process because I'm building the process, but I still need some help to speed up the process of discovering what works and what doesn't.
Right. All right. Well, first of all, hi, Nico. So, good questions. Good questions. All right. So in terms of the sitting with them, so if it's an established process, right? I mean, personally, I would want to, and I've seen this particularly actually with our ambulance squad, where we need to sit with people and teach them sort of hands-on skills sometimes, and that certainly comes up. We've been able to mitigate a lot of that with videos. So one of the things that we've had to do, for example, and this is very specific, but they have to familiarize themselves with where different things are in the ambulance. And historically, that's been something where a senior member would like sit in the ambulance, be like, and this is what's in here, and this is here, and this is how you know. But now we've just taken the opportunity to create a really, really good video of that they can now review on their own. So the first thing is I want to see like, why do we actually need to sit with them for certain things? If it's just a matter of timidness, I think that the videos actually help that because they can sort of watch it in the comfort of their own home or living room, and they can see it like 15 times. They don't feel like they have to ask questions. Or they don't feel like they're going to ask a question that's stupid because they can just rewind and listen to it again, right? And then it's like an informed question. So I think that's a big part of it too, actually. There's a disadvantage to being in person with people in that scenario where they don't feel like they have the confidence. They don't feel like they don't want to ask the wrong question. They don't want to look stupid. So I think that we can replace that with a lot of pre-recorded video. And even if it's not a physical, hand-holding kind of process, we can do screencasts for that. But I said before, I wouldn't do screencasts for the actual SOP. But if it's part of a training process where it's like, and this is our office, and like this is how you would do this. Here's the actual SOP, but this is what it kind of looks like, and create that context environment. Now we don't want to do that 100% because then we're going to disconnect and not be able to like have the human connection that we do want to have with people that we're bringing on. But what it does allow us to do actually is to focus those times on actual human connection and actually getting to know people and understanding styles and making them that much more comfortable so that they can then make mistakes and ask questions. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. The new process, right? So this is a good one. This sort of goes back to the Japanese manufacturing philosophy of Genshi Genbutsu, which is where the work happens, which is the idea that if you, as a manager or director or whatever, if you want to see what's happening on the assembly line floor, like you need to go to the assembly. You have to go where the work happens to learn it yourself. And I do think that for most businesses and most processes in those businesses, the owner, the founder, the director, whatever it might be, really does need to have at least a little bit of a sense of how to do it. It's kind of, the example that I have of that is in construction. And I worked in actual trades and construction for 3 years while I was developing, and then went on to just focus on more development. But what that meant was I wouldn't want to build a house myself. I think I know how to do it. I wouldn't want to do it myself, so I'm not an expert in it per se, but I know enough that I can have a conversation with somebody intelligently about it. And I know enough that somebody's not going to be able to take advantage of me. And so that's where I think we need to be able to, like, we can't level 6 something right off the bat that we have no knowledge in at all whatsoever and expect somebody else to take that, because that's not fair to them. And that's not you being a leader. That's you shirking your responsibility. So plus, I think that it helps people feel that comfort, feel like they can come to you with questions, and feel that connection if you show that you have to learn things too. And then lastly about that is that we always want people in the mindset, ourselves included, of memorializing processes as they're happening, right? And never treating something like a one-off. So it's like, yeah, I learned how to use this software and now like somebody else can do it, or I'm never gonna have to do that again. It's like, no, you have to create a process around that, because the talent and skill of writing out a process in that manner is a transferable skill, even if it's not for this specific situation to come up again.
And what about at the tactical level, not at the mindset level, how to make them feel okay with making mistakes? I have people that even after 6 months, they're still scared of the $10 decision. And I have absolutely never said anything about a mistake or something.
So if you're in that scenario where you've been actually seeing this go on for months and months, I would ask them straight out, like, what are you afraid of happening? What do you think the consequence is going to be of that happening? And they might say, like, I'm going to get fired. And you can say, I will never fire you over a $10 decision. I promise you that right now. And the truth is that it's a bit of a mindset thing. I know, not a tactical thing, but it's important to make people understand that by not owning up to a decision or not taking that initiative or something, there actually can be much worse effects and consequences because of that. So they might think that they're doing something really good, but they're actually doing something really, really, really bad, right? It's kind of like there's an American, or I think it's an American expression, a stitch in time saves 9, which is, right, like you have a tear in your clothing. If you stitch it now once, you don't have to do 9 stitches later. Thanks, Nico. Always good to see you. All right, next, let's see another Aaron question.